What was the biggest lesson losing taught you?
We're all individually. I had to look at life like a space shuttle. It's big when it starts and it blows off. When it gets to the moon and comes back, it's very small. I'm halfway through right now. Mm-hmm. Parts have fallen off. They fell off. Those are people. And I have to be okay with that because they were necessary. And I was necessary for them too.
Of course.
But I have to accept that. So that best friend, that best friend or that business partner that screwed you over, that person, that whatever, that ex-wife or whatever, it's still going somewhere. They've fallen off and they got their own stuff. It just taught me that life's not finished, man. Don't go in a downward spiral because you're so emotionally raw, because you felt like you gave it everything you got. Did you give it everything? Yes. Did you get hurt? Yes. Are you the first person to ever get hurt? No. Did you ever think that you would be the best in the world at anything? No.
Wow.
Did you not have a conversation with Arnold Schwarzenegger at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic to say that you were going to win number 7 and you were going to honor him? Yes. You won that. Yes. Did you get hurt while you were doing it all those years? Yes. But you still won 7. Arnold didn't win 7 in a row. Remember, he won 6. He retired. He came back and won 7. You won 7, dude. There's only 3 people in the world that have done 7, if not 8. Learn. It's not just smelling the roses right now. It's thanking your body. And that was very hard.
Yeah.
Because what would be the first thing was like, if you got hurt, you get patched up and you, coach, put me back in. I'm gonna handle this. When it comes to double hernia and intestinal strangulation and diastasis recti, where now I got to put everything back in, titanium staples, mesh here, you're going to leave a scar, and you got 6 months of inactivity or very low active, and now you got to sit at home as a loser?
That's tough.
Honey, can you spike this coffee? Sure. Then I realize I can't turn into alcoholic, but I can't go to the gym. That's my fix.
So what do you do?
How am I feeling?
Is that when you really started the process, emotions and feelings?
Yeah.
On that recovery stage?
I had some good friends, man. I had some good celebrity friends that dealt with some stuff. Because really at that moment in time, there's only certain people that you get advice from. Let's just keep it real, man.
Who can really understand what you've gone through.
There was 3 people that reached out, and I'll name them.
Who is that?
Shaquille O'Neal hit me up the night of.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He came to the show, and I was very thankful for the words that he said. You know, he's basically saying, like, sucks, happens, unfortunately.
Happened to him.
You know, you just come back, and if you want to come back, you kick the out of him. That's what he said. You know, he's like, that's what you do.
Recover, heal, come back
and then come back stronger. Dave Bautista hit me up. Told me that, hey, this is Big Bro hitting you up, and don't maybe stay off Twitter for a little bit. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And Isaiah Washington, the actor, he hit me up. And he said, you're too emotionally raw right now to deal with the world. You need to give yourself some time to process.
Yeah.
So maybe hold off some interviews. You may say the wrong thing. Did I listen to that halfway? I probably did some interviews that I probably shouldn't have done. But no one taught me how to be a champion during the social media era either.
It's tough.
I didn't have a publicist. I didn't have PR. The whole industry doesn't have that. So no one was willing to do it because they didn't know how to digest it themselves. There was no one from the league office that was like, hey, Phil, like, I know this sucked. I didn't really get a phone call. I got text messages. That's not good enough for me. So
I'm a 7-time champion.
Yeah, man. Now I'm like nothing.
Yeah, call me. Yeah.
So I had to rely on the fact that I did have, instead of focusing on the people that didn't show up, focus on the people who did. You got 3 people that have definitely gone through some certain things individually in their careers. Listen, write down your feelings. Challenge yourself to write down these honest feelings. You don't have to share them with the world. Because see, you know what happens with social media is we're going to pull that phone out, we're going to say something, and we're going to look back and say, damn, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
That sounded stupid. I write it down.
What was the theme, the consistent theme that came up for you the more you wrote down things over those 6 months? That kept coming up. What was that?
I'm hurt.
Really?
That I'm hurt. I gave everything, and I felt like it was taken away. And I'm trying to understand, like, even writing to God, like, what does this mean? I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I could do it, but like at what level? To my standard. To my standard. The standard that everybody else has for me, I've already surpassed that. They didn't think I was going to win more than 2. But my standard. Why does everybody else get to have this moment? They're not even half as good as me. This is my thought process. And people even could watch it now and be like, that's crazy. No. I knew how good I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was creating so much distance that even the announcers would say it like, the only way he's going to lose is if he gets hurt.
Wow.
That's a Madden curse. You know? like, oh, it happened. So the inevitable happened. Because eventually we all get hurt.
You get hurt or someone's younger or bigger. Yeah,
but
whatever.
I was on a roll. I thought I was really going to win 10 of these things.
Really?
Consecutive. Oh, yeah.
So if you didn't get hurt, you think you would have won 10?
For sure. I already had it bookmarked. I was like, I already know how this is going to play out. I know how to strategize this. Even through 2018, I was like, if I win this one, I'm going to have to get the surgery. I'm going to know how to come back. Maybe I still sit out 2019 and I'm going to come back even better and then win that 9th one and I'm going to go for 10. And I'm going to call it the decade of dominance. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to go on tour. I'm going to go nonstop. I'm going to hire freaking PR people. We're going to travel the world. I'm going to go do seminars. I'm going to do everything. Because I was already doing stuff with Make-A-Wish. I was already doing stuff with the USO. I was already doing stuff, like around, I was doing all these cool things. But then what stopped me? I stopped me because I lost. I stopped my own damn momentum because I was hurt. So I had to learn that. And even in the past couple of years, I had to learn that.
Do you think you could have come back and after recovering and won? Or was there something that...
I think COVID messed that up. I think when I came back, I was also filming a documentary called Breaking Olympia with Adam Scorgi and...
Is this the one the Rock? This is one of the Rock's
this is
racing?
Yeah.
That's
this
cool.
is so cool. So
That's fun.
So Danny Garcia, shout out to Danny and Dwayne.
Yeah.
They were co-producing it. $7 Productions co-producing this.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited about it. But yeah, I was able to, we were already slated to do this, but it just so happened that the pandemic was going on. I was like, well, I wasn't really thinking about competing again, but I thought, you know what?
So you thought you were done?
I thought I was done in 2018. I was like, you know what? I watched the 2018 Olympia in Denver because I wanted to know what it felt like to not go to the show.
After you didn't lose, after you got second,
after I got
the
second,
next year you didn't go.
I didn't even go. Everybody was like, dude, you should still go. I was like, why?
Because you weren't going to compete.
I wasn't going to compete, so
you
why do I need to go?
ready. You weren't ready to compete yet.
No, and actually I probably could have. But there was something about me, like in the mind and the spirit, that it just wasn't. Because to me, I have to have all of that going on.
All connected, yeah.
All connected. It can't just be for the money. It can't just be, it can't just be for ego. It has to like really make sense. And I also needed to know, I was trying to find answers. Mm-hmm. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Like, God, is this where, like, I'm trying to be humble about this. Like, how about I just take a time out?
That's interesting.
Because I felt like the first surgery, it was 4 months. Second one, 6 months.
That's painful.
So why put that type of stress on yourself?
Recover, get a full recovery.
Yeah, get a real recovery. See what that feels like. And honestly, see what it feels like to be home and if you really love it.
If you miss it,
if you miss it, yeah. And then, but be away from it. And also see if people miss you.
Are they like, hey, where you at? We miss you.
Yeah, and then people were doing that, and I'm like, but I think that
was 2019.
That was 2019, but I think what happened then was that a lot of people thought that they made up their own narrative that I hated it, or that I was a sore loser, or whatever. And I tried to process that, and I was like, well, maybe it's because you're such a big time competitor that they just made this. But you don't have to prove yourself to these people, and I think that was the biggest thing. Is that I would have been going to the Olympia in 2019 just to prove to people that I'm tough enough to sit there and watch it. And it's like, but I sit there and watch it, I'm going to be a fish in a fishbowl. They're going to stare at me, stare at my girl. They're going to analyze every reaction to everything. Yeah. Why put us through that? That's more stressful. Why not we sat around, we went to a Mexican restaurant, we sat around and I put the phone up, like,
watch it there, yeah.
And I was like, this is bullshit. Like, I should totally. And then the waiter was like, aren't you supposed to be somewhere around the same time of year? I was like, yeah, but they're like, oh yeah, that. Aren't you supposed to be doing that? I was like, and then that's when it started messing with my head. Oh, you're not doing that no more?
Oh, you retired? Or you're washed up, or you're...
So I'm trying to play with that. So then in 2020 came.
Did you think you could have won it that year watching it on
Hell
TV?
yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah. But that's
you
how I feel, though, right?
Were you physically, was your body ready?
The problem is that I wasn't training for it,
Right.
so I don't know.
But if you would have taken the 3 months before and really
Might
trained,
have, but
who knows?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, like, you know, we're all champions in our own mind.
Yeah.
I can still throw that football over the mountains.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Uncle Rico type of talk, right? So, you know, and that's disrespectful to everybody competing too. So I thought, you know what? View this as a real spiritual, emotional timeout, because you already got the physical part. This is a real timeout. Let's figure out who you are as a man. You decide to come back. After watching that Olympia, I was like, let's just do it. But then when March 2020 came, I was like, well, how the hell am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? But then I thought, this would be even better. Because what if I do win? During a pandemic? And you're filming this? It's already being documented?
Wow.
What would your story be of triumph? And if you lose, and this was really cool because I remember meeting up with Dwayne. Dwayne was shooting Titan Games. Mm-hmm. And I was in his trailer and he was...
Out here in LA, right?
Oh, no, he was in Georgia.
Okay, yeah.
So he gave me some really good advice and he was like, you know, you have to figure out why you're really doing this.
Why are you coming back?
Yeah.
What's the point?
And it might have to be, this is your last one. It might have to be that way. You might have to put yourself in that mindset.
That's what he said to you.
Yeah, because there's other goals that you have that may not coexist. They may not coincide with one another. They may not work. Because I want to get in TV and film and do other things, you know.
Start businesses.
Businesses, coaching, you know, seminars, all that cool stuff.
It takes a lot of time and energy.
Exactly.
You can't focus
all
your time
I
training.
can be fifth at the Olympia going halfway, no question about it. But that's not going to satisfy me. Chasing a paycheck like that, that's not going to, no. You become a weaker version of self just chasing, no. I'm chasing history if I'm doing this. But then I started figuring out the upside. What's the upside? If I win, one of the greatest comebacks in history. If I lose, it'll depend how you lose. And how you honor yourself. Because they've not seen you for now 27 months. We're flawed, and we get our information from people that maybe not have our best interest.
Uh-huh.
We have to use better discernment and realize this choice, this isn't a really calculated choice here, man. This could put me in jail, or this could hurt someone.
Right.
Then ask myself, why am I making this choice right now?